Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how CNext can help users to get the data from APIs, process the data, and answer business questions on this using NLP. This is an example of a telco rep who is looking for on companies that have the same, that have data center co-located in the same facility with them. In order to do so, he will have to go through several steps to collect the data from a website and analyze it manually. Here I will show you how he can do that same analysis in a much more scalable way. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to import some account name, which is basically a list of company name that I will want to do research on. The next step is I'm going to write a query that's going to call into an API to get more information about the company. And you see that I use account name here, which refer back to the account name on the table above. Okay, now I get the data, and you see that the information coming back in a JSON format. It's not easy to see. So the next step, what we're going to do is I'm going to write a query to extract out that information from that JSON table. And here we want to get the account name, the ID, and the address. And then because address included shown in multiple fields, so I'm going to combine all the addresses related fields into one, and also I'm going to change the ID to org ID just to make sure that we later on we know that this ID is the organization ID. After you run it, now you have it. You have org ID and then all the address combined to one, and you can see that some of the row above have two different ID. So and then this data processing step can extract out all of that information properly. Also notice that here we have a method to work around the problem limitation. So it doesn't matter if you have one row, 10 rows or 100 rows, it will still work the same. Okay, so in order to complete the research, user will have to chain together multiple steps, including API calls and data processing steps. And the last question we ask here is basically to check whether companies that we collected above have facility that matches the given list. This is a rather complex query, as you can see. And the facility names here basically refer to the facility name that we have both for the other companies. Okay, so after you run it, see that it went through and then tries to match the facility name, and some of that have false value, some of that have true value. And let's see the true value here, London Holdings Center, and yes, there is a London Holding Center both. In this part of the video, I'm going to show you how CNext can be used to get the data from a web page and then further enriched with the API. Okay, in this case, you want to do a research on the companies that have initiative in plastic waste. There's a website that lists out 22 companies that have a different projects on plastic waste. Okay, so you can go into CNext and then get the web page and then extract out the information. Specifically here, you want to get the company name and also a summary of all of the initiatives that on reduce plastic into a table. Okay, so look at you can look at the table here, right? All the company names and the summaries of this initiative on plastic waste. Okay, so the next thing you may want to do is that given all the companies names above, you want to search for the tweets that contain both plastic waste and the company name. So using Twitter search API, you can get those information and then populate it in the table. So as you can see here, some of the name doesn't have the plastic waste, but McDonald's have a bunch of tweets related to it. So what if you given a list of companies, just want to get like LinkedIn or Twitter of that handle of that companies? You can do so as well using like Crunchbase API. So here the query is to get the LinkedIn and Twitter of the company name that shown above. After you run it, you can have the LinkedIn and the Twitter. And after one more processing step, you can extract out that LinkedIn information. Okay, what if you just want to have a simple text summarization? CNext can support that as well. In this case, you just get a risk factor from a 10K of a company and then summarize the text and output in a bullet points.